Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game is Saturday night. Jordan Love and the Packers take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game.
That's going to be caught for the touchdown.
NFC North rivals square off in the latest chapter of the NFL's oldest feud. The Packers and Bears in Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on Prime. Sign up for a 30-day free trial today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. My name is Cody Bradley. I've got everybody here with me. Thad Bell, Robert Russer, David Greenwald, and Kerry Robinson. We are back to do another one here after the press conference today with Raphael Wicky. It is officially official. The picture has been taken with the scarf and the owner. That means it is actually done. We had the press conference. We saw him in the building. He looks a little bit like Where's Waldo. Thad really nailed that one. Just got to get him in the new leaked US jersey. So we are going to talk a lot about that, but go listen to yesterday's podcast, the initial reactions. All these guys talked pretty thoroughly about what you can expect from him and his past and what they're thinking of this signing. So go check that one out. And Thad is going to help walk us through the press conference today. Thad, I'm going to go to you first. What is one thing you got from this press conference that stuck out to you?
That's a good question, Cody, and I'm going to continue to stall while I think about it. No, actually...
It's because he wants to say the conversation after the press conference was his favorite part, but there's not much he can...
There was several of them. It actually was, but Kerry was there. We had a good conversation with David Lee. It was like not being recorded, not like an official presser. It was just a good conversation. He didn't appreciate. I don't say he didn't appreciate, but he kind of hoped I didn't point that whole P1 visa thing out. But other than that, it was a really good conversation.
I didn't know I was throwing you a curveball there at the beginning, so I apologize. I thought we had prepared a little bit here, but. Give me something. Give me something from the press conference today.
I will say one thing that I don't want to say it's like the biggest thing, but a lot of the complaints was how long it took. It took too long to get this coach. Yeah. It took too long to do this. And a big part of it was that, first of all, they decided a process in order to find the coach. And they made a process, and then they went through it. And this was in the after party part, but he talked about how he flew to Europe and coaches flew into here and he did this and he interviewed these people and he went through this whole process to finally narrow it down. And they could have had him sign previously. He did actually just sign yesterday when he got to the training center or to Kansas City. They could have had him sign before. But if you notice something, because of the way the visas are and stuff, the Columbus Crew, they don't have a coach. They have a coach, but he won't be able to be here until they get the P1 visa. Because when he signed, he was in Europe. So he has to get the P1 visa before he can come over to work. He's over here. He can't work, but he can visit and chat with people and observe training and things like that.
MLS gonna MLS, man. No, Thad, wasn't he kind of impressed? You're being modest. I think he was kind of impressed that he was having to answer that question. Like, the people around here are in the weeds on all of these rules already.
Yeah, he said that nobody in New York would have ever asked him that question, so he was kind of surprised. He's also done more press conferences here than he did the entire time in New York, which is a total of 3 so far.
We care around
don't worry.
Here.
I said, you're going to do more, man. You're going to do more. And he goes, they even asked me if I wanted to do one for the draft. And I'm like, do one for the draft? And I'm like, yeah, I asked for it. Like, where was it, man?
So I know I know it's a Raphael Wicky podcast, but it sounds like you and him are have a good thing going here.
I really like David Lee. I don't know how to judge whether Wicky will turn out to be a great coach or a good coach or a mediocre coach or a temp coach until they build up a roster and they can hire another coach. I don't know which one he's going to be. I know which one I kind of lean, but David Lee I do really like. I think he's going to do good things for this organization.
Yeah, I mean, and they also talked about well, this is during the press conference about like what they wanted for it in a head coach, and they made sure that they made it very clear that David Lee went into this wanting someone that was already a head coach before, not just someone who had been assistant for years.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I had to respond to several texts yesterday, people asking me why we hired a youth coach. And I just instantly knew not that they were confusing the U17 thing. I was like, wait, no. Young boys is what you're looking at, not a youth team. It's just the name of the club. I'm sorry, that's misleading. Soccer is weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the four key areas, just building on what Kerry said, were experience, as Kerry mentioned, development of players, academy players out of that pipeline, football vision aligned, which apparently him and Rafa and David aligned very well, and then the human side of things. But really, Cody, the thing that made me laugh right away at the very beginning of the press conference was that Mike Illig said they want to build a modern football organization. I was like, oh God, please, let's finally start doing that.
Well, what does that mean, Robert? How are they going to do that?
Well, developing players, I think they're really putting a bigger emphasis. Not that the previous people didn't. I'm not saying that. It's just that I think it's going to be much more intentional and maybe even giving more opportunities. You know, Peter in his last few months and Kerry gave some more opportunities than we had seen for quite a while. But I think it's just going to be more of an emphasis. So I think that starts with that, first of all, and then looking more at becoming a transactional MLS side in the modern way. Like David Greenwald has always talked about buying players that have strong potential and then selling them off for bigger money later to help build your club in whatever way you need to build it. So I think that's going to be two areas that we're going to see distinctly different with this group.
And also to note that Illig even mentioned scouting and analytics about building a modern football club. I also found it interesting he called it a football club, but yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that was all part of it. Like it's intentional to build a modern football club, and that's what David Lee can do. And it will take him a lot of time to get it all accomplished. But,
And I think even Wiki kind of talked about that being what MLS is currently doing in the modern era, whereas he was here coaching in 2020 and 2021, the COVID years. Even MLS has evolved from just 5 years ago.
yeah. Somebody did ask him, like, what did he learn or what did he experience from then? He's like, I've already analyzed that. That's long past.
Yeah.
So,
Carrie, you can breathe a sigh of relief now that we no longer have the Carrie confusion.
Feels good.
And David, you got lucky on this one. That David Lee is so short that that's just what we say every time. David Lee. So you dodged a bullet there.
I was here first. Unlike Carey and Carey, Zavagnin was here well before Robinson, but I was here first. This is my club. My butt has touched all those chairs that he has not touched yet.
Was Carey Zavagnin here before Carey Robinson existed?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
by several years.
This is his city, Carey Robinson.
Yes.
By how
That's
many
okay.
years, Carrie? Like by 5 years, 4 years?
When did he get there?
God, it was the 90s, early 90s or something, wasn't it?
Early 90s.
Not the early.
No.
It was 2000, was it not?
Okay, I'm gonna have to run a game where we ask
Okay.
Cody like what year it is.
He beat me by 1 year,
Okay, that's good.
probably two-ish actually. But
Zavagnin came to Kansas City in 2000.
yes, I was born in late 2001.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I like reminding you guys that. Just because I get to see your faces. The listeners can't, but just know they're very enjoyable to see them cringe.
Well, Robert has a daughter older than you, and I have a daughter that's just barely younger than you. So
There you go.
we're used to that being old people.
I actually kind of like the idea of Carrie's friends texting her and be like, "What are you up to tonight?" Be like, "Oh, I'm going to go talk about soccer with a bunch of old men."
Hey, speak for yourself.
Okay, Cody, do you have a distinct memory of 9/11? The answer is yes,
Distinct.
and you're old.
Distinct, not really.
Oh, bullshit. You're not that much younger than me.
I mean, I remember being in an elementary school classroom. That's about
Old.
it.
I was working to make sure telephone networks were still working in New York at that point.
My most big memory when I was around that age was the shuttle disaster. So that ages me quite a bit. So there you
Speaking of disasters, Sporting Kansas City.
It's only going to rise into the future.
Is Sporting the biggest Kansas City soccer disaster right now? At least we have a coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
That somebody wanted.
I like his look.
Yeah.
We went from athlete chic in Vermees to nerd chic here. The glasses are a good look, and he does look like Where's Waldo. That was well done.
Yeah, he does, and he was a player in MLS at one point. He was with Chivas USA.
For how many games?
5 games. He did not play against Kansas City. Because I went to look at the 2008 Chivas game, which is like the first year I was really doing any photos to see if he was even in it. Yeah, I couldn't find any, so then I looked it up, and he was not in the game. He was probably hurt because,
All right, hot take. We're going to see some group called Off to the Wizards do a Where's Waldo theme at some point early in the season.
Ooh. Thank you. We have not thought that far ahead yet. But now we are.
You're gonna do a Where's Waldo one, and then what was that other one that he looks like?
I said he looked like Link Neal from Good Mythical Morning. Or
Yeah,
Rhett and Link.
I don't know that anybody's gonna get that extremely like niche take.
No, I felt this is
it was on
big
Reddit
YouTube
today.
channel.
I saw that. Yeah.
People younger than you will have a better chance of getting it.
Speaking of dating yourself, David.
I know who they are. Do
Okay,
you?
so no, I don't.
I do not.
They're
YouTubers. They have a YouTube show.
They have like 19 million subscribers.
Yeah.
So perhaps we should invite them on.
So only 18 million more than we do. So what?
All right. What else from today? What stood out, Carrie? You were there.
You can tell he's very European. Let's just say that, not just from the accents. I did note that when he took off his water bottle cap, he acted like it was going to stay next to him instead of just detach completely. And so it was very awkward.
Yeah.
Because Europe, they do not detach from the water bottle.
That was a keen eye. Very astute observation, Carrie.
Thank you. That is what I'm here for.
So and that was also his talking first about American water bottle.
Caught on camera. See, I like this, Carrie. You're talking about the things I want to get into here. Is there anything else that caught your eye? I like this.
We talked about his looks. I was very caught off guard and distracted by his jawline. I was at an angle that just
powerful jawline.
Yeah, you could cut a diamond on that thing.
All of a sudden I'm struck by if we're talking about maybe a female team and a guy says something like this, it is taboo. But Carrie, you go crazy because you got free reign.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like his look. I like his name. It's good vibes, and that's really kind of my my only thing here. David, I was listening back to the podcast you guys did yesterday. I know you were kind of meh about this or lamenting that it doesn't necessarily get you excited. And all of those superficial things like the jawline and nice glasses, that's really all I'm looking for at this point. Wicky, that's a fun name. We're going to have fun with that. I mean, come on. But I just think in listening to you say that, David, I just had the thought that who could it have possibly been as a middling MLS club that would have gotten someone excited about the hire for this? I just think it was always going to be someone that, like, maybe we've heard that name a few times, maybe a name around the league, but it's always going to be somebody that got fired from somewhere, And so I think I'm not looking too hard either way on this. We don't know. Had some success overseas, sucked with Chicago, but Chicago sucks all around. So I'm just here for this. Like, I like the look, good vibes, crossing my fingers. This is my team. He's my coach. So let's go. Let's ride. We'll see what happens.
And Cody, who else is going to sparkle the fans? I mean,
Yeah.
That
was
Cody,
a good quote.
Cody, you always ask us, like, oh, Thad, is this making you feel tingly? Now you can ask if it makes us feel sparkly.
Yes.
Are you sparkling back there behind your microphone? Wait. Maybe I shouldn't ask that.
See, right in my wheelhouse. These are the conversations I like to have. Another one was that Mike Illig still does not seem to have mastered this whole media thing.
Oh my Lord.
He is smart. He is not sparkling.
He was not. Like he kind of stumbled over one of the first words when the press conference started. And I was like, oh, Mike, come on.
His heart is just beating out of his chest anytime he's expected to speak. He's like, oh shit.
Public speaking is really hard for some people.
It is.
Yeah,
I don't. Hasn't this billionaire kid been groomed for a long time for this kind of thing? I don't know.
No, I mean, why would you be? Like, you didn't expect to have to like speak in front of public, So it's not easy, man. I get embarrassed when people are like, oh, I was listening to you, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
If there was
I
always a
treat
good
this as a
team,
chat.
if there was always a good team, he wouldn't have to do these press conferences.
That's true.
Now, I don't know. I'm trending a little more cynical these days, but did anybody just kind of have to just pause in your thought process when he said, we do everything for the fans. Everything we do is for the fans.
Oh, Robert. He said that and I was instantly like, boom, got my soundbite. Like I'm going to use that for years. Yeah, I figured people would latch on to that one, Thad.
Yeah, and I asked him the question, what's going to get the fans excited and stuff, just to see what he would say and all that stuff. Not as a trap. I just wanted to see what he would say. But I feel like he was a little more genuine than he has been in the past. I mean, yes, he has trouble with public speaking, but it was a little better than it was in the past. Maybe after the next 5 coaches, maybe it'll be better. But he'll be good at it at that point, or he'll just make David Lee do it because David Lee doesn't like doing press conferences either.
Okay, I digress. We can talk about some real soccer parts of this. That one thing I guess that stood out to me was, and I think Robert kind of touched on it a little bit, but we spent a lot of time on this podcast talking about the lack of the academy players, the lack of that pipeline that is showing through, and it seems like at least David Lee has made a focus on that, Thad.
That was part of the hire for Wicky, was that he plays young players, he develops young players. Part of the conversation, the after party conversation, was that he sees some young guys in the academy that will be in that immediate pipeline. He didn't give a timeline or anything like that, so I'm not going to name names because he didn't name names either. But so it just seems like he does have the plan of getting these guys up here and playing and seeing how they do. And
yeah, it was brought up a couple times. Yeah, it was brought up a few times during the whole thing. So that was good to hear a couple mentions of it, Robert.
And that was one thing that Wicky has done in the past, was the U17 men's national team. So and then he was with youth stuff before he even moved up to the first team in Basel or whatever. So he has developed young players.
Other things I like about Rafa is that it's hard to tell, but from just a press conference, but he seems very sincere about coming to Kansas City and becoming a Kansas City and getting to know the city, getting to know the fans, just exploring. He said he likes to explore places privately and just get around the town and get to know the people, have a coffee, whatever. So I like that facet about him as well. But I think the fact that he really is focused on the kind of style of play that we want to see, possession based. He mentioned high pressure a lot, and just be an exciting team. So we have had inklings of that in the past, but haven't really been a full implementation. And I think we're just going to see just another level on that aspect as well.
It'll all depend on the players that they can get for that too, though.
And they said, double-digit players on the way. They mentioned they already got 3. We're not quite sure what he was referring to when he said those 3. So
yeah,
double-digit players doesn't necessarily mean, I guess, by the end of training camp, but probably going to be close to that number, I would think.
Well, he said in this window. He did say in this window.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that you can get all double-digit total of them in, but it's obviously a priority. They're working on it. It sounds like there's some that are close. Another thing that was I asked because there's not a whole lot of coaching staff right now, and especially if Wicky can't coach right at the moment. But I guess there's deals that are being finalized for flushing out the coaching staff. So we probably will be hearing. There should be a lot of announcements over the next month.
So who's going to write all these articles for the KC Soccer Journal?
David, I'm glad you stepped up.
I have a very full-time job. I'll do what I can, but geez.
Same.
So, Robert, you mentioned that line from the presser about the fans. Another one I heard during it was that he had said it's on us, something about it's on us to win them back. And that was another part of that I liked.
Yeah, to bring the energy to the fans was some
Right,
words
right.
that he quoted as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's the way it should be, right? It shouldn't be the supporters are there, do or die, no matter if we run the club into the ground, right? So, that attitude, bringing that and invoking that into the players, injecting that into the players, if you will, and the acquisitions they make. I mean, how long has it been since we had a guy, let's say, like Gerso, that blistering fast guy? Yeah, he didn't have a clue sometimes on the ball, but just imagine a team with 3 or 4 guys like that can just that blistering pace, can beat players just about at will with their speed at least. I mean, it's going to be hopefully kind of what we're going to see more of.
Yeah, hopefully. Did like Gerso. Man, that was fun. That is exciting. It's hard to deny that. The final product was never there, but always exciting.
I mean, he scored some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I'd take him over Shappy 11 times out of 10.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
would
take him over William Agata as well.
I don't know. Shoppy would be much more willing to get into a scrappy.
Jesus.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
So, David, you didn't really get a chance to respond
When you came at me about who would I want to be appointed. Well,
Yeah.
look, the point I made last night, right, is that when you're hiring a coach, you can either get a retread, you can get an up and coming assistant, or you can try to find somebody who's been successful at a different level or a different league, right? I'll tell you, I don't scout the ranks of coaches enough to know who like a really exciting up and comer was. One of the things that I, thought was that given David Lee's connections to Citigroup, that maybe they'd try to raid one of the Citigroup clubs for an assistant, right? Like there's a guy right now who's got a really fun name to say, which is why I'm picking him. But Pepjin Lenders. Cody,
Nice.
are you familiar with Mr. Lenders?
No, I'm not, but great name. Well done.
He's an assistant. He's a Dutch assistant for Man City. And so, it's like a crazy swing, right? The guy coached in I think the Dutch second division and got fired when they didn't get promoted to the Eredivisie, but has coached under Klopp and under Guardiola. Now, is he destined for like way more than MLS? Probably. But that would be like a very exciting hire because even though he's pretty unproven as a head coach, he's got this like crazy pedigree. And that's kind of all the point I was making, right? Is that like Wicky didn't really get it done, admittedly at a pretty bad club.
Yeah.
It didn't like get me jumping out of my chair. I was so excited.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I understand all that, but I guess I would say that my point with it was that you kind of said it there at the end that even that guy that you brought up probably not coming to MLS, let alone Sporting Kansas City. So I mean,
not with that attitude, he's not.
I know. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. But I struggle to imagine a guy that would has, as you said, get me jumping up and excited about this. So I guess maybe I was mentally prepared for just to kind of roll with whoever this was. And, I like this team and it's my guy. So I'm going to be behind it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out how many candidates had previous MLS experience like Wiki does. Because even though this is going to be a long process, you kind of still need to hit the ground running with a coach who is familiar with MLS, familiar with the MLS player, the American player, and then just how MLS works. So I'd just be curious to see how many had previous MLS experience.
I'll counter that a little bit, Robert, because I think in the past I would have totally agreed with you, but I think I'm less worried about that coach having MLS experience now or knowledge because you have a guy like David Lee who's there to shepherd all that stuff through and say, no, we cannot just go out and sign a $27 million player. right? And you hopefully explains all that before they sign.
I mean,
So
we
it would be
could.
nice. Yeah, but it's not going to happen. Okay. At
But
least not.
having to convince a coach, okay, hey, we're going to be traveling from, and even Wiki use this example from Houston to Vancouver for these next 2 games. You've got to understand what that's like, and a European-based coach doesn't. So there are some aspects that you can talk to your blue in the face, and they're not going to understand it until they experience it.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you can say, hey, it's going to be 3-hour flights between where you train and where you play. At least you're
Right.
in the middle, so you don't have to go from Miami to Vancouver very often. Although Sporting or MLS will do that to us for sure, right? But I'm just saying I don't totally disagree with you, but I just don't think
Sure.
that's as big a factor as it would have been in a few years ago, because coaching is coaching, and MLS has come up to the point where it's not a top 5 league in Europe, but it's got ability and talent, and that sort of stuff is there, and infrastructure and all that. If the worst thing is the travel, they can sign a waiver that they understood it even if they didn't.
Sorry, I've been monitoring jaw lines over here. Been looking at everybody's chin.
Are jawlines the new calves?
David is hiding his with a beard, and Thad, as always, we can only see the top half of his face because he's a boomer. So he's been hiding his chin.
Thad just really likes Home Improvement.
Carrie said
Just
he had
call me Wilson.
kind of a pointy or bony chin, and now I'm wondering if I have a bony chin.
Is that why you keep hitting all the angles in your camera?
Yeah.
We want to see the profile, Cody.
I'm trying to find the best angle for my jawline. Also, does it help if you stick your bottom teeth out? I think that makes it more pronounced.
Turn to the right really quick for us. Let's see.
So Cody,
hit us with a blue steel.
Okay. All right.
So that's pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. That's my best.
Do you want to know the slang for this? It's called mewing.
What I'm doing right now is what you're saying?
The sticking the teeth and the trying to project the jaw.
Oh.
Yeah. You just do a little.
I was doing photos of a senior, and I'm like, why is he doing this? And my daughter goes, he's mewing. And I'm like, what?
Oh my God. Okay, learn something new every day.
I'm glad.
See, I knew that.
I'm just glad I didn't have to explain this one fully.
Good.
Do you remember that time Cody was trying to explain how he's not an old man?
We all are old
not
in
so
one
long
way or
ago.
another.
Okay. Any final points from the presser today, or
Yes.
anything? Okay, what do you got, Thad?
All right. Well, I was jotting down quotes, or at least partial quotes, as I was re-listening to it. One of the things I liked, Lee was talking about the needing to bring up players and be able to sell them and stuff. But as we get more successful, as we will be in the coming years, it's hard to keep players together. I like the confidence as we will be.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about Wicky and the number of debuts he gave, the number of players that moved to big clubs that's played for him. That I very much liked that. And then
Saying the right things.
Yeah, and with Wicky, all this stuff very exciting about this club, very human connection with everybody, and Lee especially, all that stuff. Culture beats tactics that we mentioned earlier. A lot of rooms to bring in players, a lot of room for academy players.
Culture beats
somebody asked-
tactics is a good one.
Yeah. Somebody asked about, what's that possession thing means? He goes, I'd rather have the ball than not have the ball.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
David, you did not like culture beats tactics. You scoffed at that when I said it.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Okay.
I mean,
Culture's
culture's
all just
important.
jibber jabber to me. That's the only reason I liked it, was because it just sounds phonetically good together.
Culture's important, but the team can be a family as much as you want them to be. If you can't coach your way out of a paper bag, you're going to lose games. But I do want to caveat everything, because I feel like I've probably taken a more negative tone than perhaps others who are.
Surprise.
All right, look, relax. Okay. Give me a break. But I am excited for something new. I am excited to see what he can do. I'm an eternal optimist, so I'm not rooting against him. I'm not expecting it to be bad. Okay. You're not even on camera anymore. It's such a weird conversation to be heckled by somebody who's preening in a mirror.
Yeah, that hop was so important.
Would you checking a better mirror or something than just the camera? I mean,
Yeah, he muted and hit a mirror on the wall. Who's got the best jawline on the podcast?
Mewing, mirror on the wall.
But I'm optimistic because even if Wicky doesn't work out, and I very much hope he does, I really believe in David Lee. And I believe that David Lee has a vision, and I like what he's been saying in terms of driving the club forward. So I'm not trying to be negative towards Wicky, although certainly more so than maybe you are, but I am very optimistic about the future for the club.
Look at that. That's good to hear. Glad to hear it, David.
See, I think David and I are very much on the same page. I don't know that Wicky's the right answer. I mean, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I do believe in David Lee. And if Wicky does not turn out after this year, he maybe gets the mini season next year and he's gone. That's why they gave him a 2.5-year contract, is they'd only have to pay him an extra year to get rid of him at that point. But he gets a lot of time to develop players in the meantime, and to build a base that a slightly better coach would be able to do something with if he does not turn it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all basically in the same place on that, right? You know, we're not quite sure about Wicky, but
right.
Lee says the right things too. But let's go back to that culture beats tactics thing. I'm going to argue with David there. You can have all the tactics in the world, but you don't have a team that believes in each other, doesn't work for each other. It's not going to matter. But you know,
David didn't watch Ted Lasso, I guess.
I think it also certainly did.
Comes down to that moment in the match where you're tired, maybe you're down, maybe you took a blow, you know, to the gut with a goal that was an own goal, you know, in the last minute to draw the match, and you thought you had 3 points. You know, I think that's also where he's talking about, where, you know, that's where culture is going to beat tactics. It's not going to be tactics at that point. It's going to be working for each other and fighting. But
hold on, Robert. So in your theory, we're already shipping goals, and I'm criticized for being negative. You're already shipping goals.
Last minute goals too, to lose a lot of points.
Well, hey, you know that the next central defender we sign, the first thing he's going to do is score an own goal, right? You know that.
Is this like 2023 all over again?
And I'm the negative one.
So David made me feel a little better. Thad has made me feel a little better. That I think a lot of people are going to be with me on this. That the fact that you are saying this about David Lee and that you seem genuine in your trust and belief in him, that makes me kind of believe in him as well. You're a voice of reason in the sporting KC community a little bit. I think a lot of people are with me on that. You feel good about him. I feel good about him.
Yeah, very good about David Lee. The jury is out on Wicky and will be for a while. And even if he doesn't turn out, that doesn't mean I don't have faith in David Lee to keep building this club to be a better team. Now, again, maybe I'm proven wrong, but it'll give us lots of things to talk about.
Okay. Good stuff. Thank you, everyone.
I have a question.
What do you got, Thad?
If you go to Disney World, is that a people trap ran by a mouse?
Okay. I have a different question that's not a dad joke.
Please, David.
Cody, are you familiar? Cody, are you familiar with the Swiss/French delicacy raclette?
I don't believe so. Thad is. And Carrie, Robert, do you guys know what this is? I was only halfway listening, to be honest, but no. Damn, bro. For real? I was still processing what Thad did there. I couldn't not believe he said that out loud. Okay, anyway, so what do you got? Okay, Robert, Carrie, do you know what raclette is?
No, sir.
So it's a Swiss dish where you heat cheese underneath it's got like a heating lamp, and so it gets really melty. And then you get like a little palette knife and you slide it off on top of like potatoes or bread or any of this. So it's a very famous Swiss dish, and you can get it kind of as like street food at a lot of places. And my hope, if nothing else from the Wicky regime, is that we get raclette in the stadium. I like where your head's at, David.
Yeah. I will ask for that.
So you say it'd be better than St. Louis pizza? Is that what you're saying?
St. Louis doesn't make pizza. They put tomato sauce on crackers. This is different.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
No, St. Louis pizza is still better.
No, it's better than raclette or better than...
Okay.
Emo sucks. Unless they want to sponsor us.
Emo's great. And I shot at an event that they had a raclette station. They had multiple of those heaters, like little broiler salamander things to melt the cheese and sliding it off onto different things. So it was very. The first time I was like, "What the hell is going on here? Why are they melting cheese and sliding on bread? Don't they've never heard of a grilled cheese sandwich? It's like an ungrilled.
This is awesome.
Sandwich.
No, this is like this is good stuff.
Yeah, I like this a lot. The petition begins here. Raclette in the stadium.
Anybody got Jake Reed's number? I'll call him.
Sport egg.
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.